it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. While you're shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the whole town cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
This team has been built for one purpose and one purpose only, and truly it's to win the Ron Newman Cup. It is a different atmosphere in indoor soccer. They are starving for us to come back, and we have to perform. But it's going to take all of us.
We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the whole town cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. This is why we do it. This is what we live for. We on top. We number one. Hands to the sky. Never
pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, as we bring you Major Arena Soccer League action on MASL TV. You're looking live at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium as 2-4 Utica City FC hosts the 3-2 Baltimore Blast. Our coverage today is presented by Flight Sports. The official match ball of the MASL is designed and produced by Flight, expertly designed for the indoor game. Flight is the premier partner of choice. Flight, challenge everything. And also by Chill Brands. Chill.com is the official CBD brand of the MASL, helping our athletes reach their maximum potential by promoting proper and expedited recovery. Welcome to Club Chill. My name is Ray Biggs. He's Kyle Marchak. Glad to have you along for the ride in what is no doubt kind of a watershed game between these two sides. We'll start off with Utica City FC. At this point in the season, it's kind of got a must-win kind of feel for this side to turn the year around. You've already got 25% of the schedule out of the way, and if the season ended today, Utica would probably be on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs are concerned. They've lost their last two to open the new year, mind you, both of them to first place Florida, who has checked out on the entire division. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they're 3-2, second in the division. By their standards, probably not where they'd like to be either, that far away from Florida at the top of the division. On Friday night, a 5-4 loss at Dallas. So to boil it down simply here, Kyle, both teams coming off of a loss on their own respective ends. What do they need to do today to make it right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a different type of Sunday night football. We have a great show out tonight. I think the energy will help out both squads. To start with Utica City FC, I mean, the main storyline, look, they're looking for their first W against a winning club this season so far. I think it starts with marking your man. Lucas Roque is an absolute stud for the Blast alongside Max Ferdinand. Both guys are in top 10 in points and assists respectively in the league. With that being said, I think it starts with getting some service from midfield. They're both below average in assists, so they need to get some service, get that ball to the foot of Bo Yelovitz for Utica City.
Let's get it on here at the Yard. Baltimore with the opening kickoff, and it tracks down to the netminder for the city today, Brian Wilkin, who was awesome the last time he played in this building, made 19 saves in a win over Harrisburg, 5-4, and was an absolute wall in that outing. William Vanzella at the other end in the yellow goalkeeper kit for the Blast. What more can you say about Vanzella, one of the greatest in league history? He made 3 saves in the loss to Dallas. So it's Baltimore really getting the first established possession of the match. Jeff Michaud drops it off back for Tony Donatelli, who had 2 goals the last time these two teams met. To Vanzella, up the right wing, Mello touches it down the boards, 2-on-1, developing, diving, save by Wilkin. He denies Roque on the first chance of the game. Follow-up for the near wing boards, also stuffed. That time it was Michaud letting it fly. 14:08 to go. We're in the first quarter, and glad to have you back with us after about a month or so of no home games here for Utica City FC.
Yeah, it's been a long stretch, and Baltimore's a good club to have come in. Obviously a competitive squad, another wild card probable, but they play on a small field. They're going to really feel able to breathe today.
Roberts on the move. It was redirected to the end glass. And City will hunt it down at the near point. Pat Thompson, the former Harrisburg man. He'll settle it down at center. Ball pinned under his left foot. Watching him carefully is Josh Hughes. Baltimore today without head coach David Bascombe. Aduato Neto is serving in his place, and we want to wish the best to Coach Bascombe and his family. As I understand it, they had a death in their family, so all the best from everybody here in Utica, and we hope to see you real soon.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough spot for Neto stepping in today for his head coach, usually the assistant coach, and stepping up in a big game. Utica City's obviously a tough squad, historically successful squad. Really neat formation, too. A lot of talented guys in this roster. It's going to be a fun game tonight.
Moises Gonzalez with 5 goals this season gets his first touch of the match. Across to Christian Segura. Segura going to be very, very pivotal to Utica's plans here today, I think. 3 out of his 4 points came in one game. Turnover, counterattack chance for the Blast. Great sliding block by Nate Bordeaux. He got out in front of it there on Jamie Thomas.
Yeah, that's textbook stuff from Bordeaux. That's why he's a co-captain. Sliding block right there, and that's pivotal to staying in this game, although Wilkin's been an absolute wall as of late.
Pivoted to the near wing. To Michaud. Michaud shoots. Hand save. Tipped away by Wilkin. Follow-up is stuffed in by Donatelli. And again, it's Wilkin who walls it off. 2-1 record this year for Brian Wilkin, a 4.40 GAA. His save percentage, just under 73%.
Yeah, that's solid numbers on a guy who's only had a couple games so far. I mean, Coughlin was supposed to be that starting guy, and now they're both competing for touches. And Wilkin has just been so impressive. As a former goalkeeper myself, I know it's really tough to just hop into this position and start red hot the way he's done.
Little overhead there in the neutral zone from Donatelli. Back to Max Ferdinand, who formerly played for the 2019 Ron Newman Cup champion Milwaukee Wave. To Railing. To Jonatas Mello from Sao Paulo, Brazil, on a 4-game goal-scoring streak right now for the Blast. So he's a big-ticket man to watch today for Baltimore. Long shot right wing, screaming wide for Keita as he tees off his first look of the match. 11:20 to go. We're in the first quarter of play. And so far, Baltimore has had all the possession really here. So for Utica, they've got to weather the storm. This Baltimore team coming out with really fresh legs, especially considering that they were in Dallas, Texas 2 days ago.
Yeah, like I said, Baltimore plays in the smallest field in the league, so playing on, well, what feels to them such a large field, although it's regulation size, they probably feel like at midfield at least, they can just breathe. I mean, such a large neutral zone for them. You know, at home, that neutral zone's only about the size of that inner circle.
And there's the pressure from Obasi. Utica can start the counter. Obasi, a former Baltimore man himself, played there a number of years ago. Down the wing, shot by Tavernisi. That's blocked away to the boards by Keita. And there will be our first foul of the match. It will go against Keita. And Utica will have the free kick in zone. And I would argue, in fact, it probably helps Baltimore today because they had that run on Friday down in Allen, Texas at the Allen Event Center in that 5-4 loss. So they're probably relatively fresh, all things considered, with the day off in between. But still, a really good run of possession on the road early. And if you're a road team, that really bodes well.
Yeah, I mean, such a strong home field advantage here at the bank. And a really great show-out. Like we said, a different type of Sunday night football, but it looks like it's NFL Sunday night football with the viewership we've got so far.
Definitely feeling good about where the state of the arena game and the indoor game is headed over the long haul, and these are two of the franchises that look to lead the way on the Eastern Seaboard for sure. Played high to Bordeaux, right wing, Roberts, and that was partially tipped by Juan Pereira, fresh off a 1-game suspension, back into the lineup today for the Blast. Whisked beyond the zone line and gathered back up by Jake Schindler. Across to Bordeaux, Schindler under a lot of pressure here, and for both of these teams, I know it kind of breaks their mold to some degree with how they've been constructed, but look to see a little bit more high press today, I think, from both of these sides. Generate some counterattack chances as Gonzalez fires a laser beam wide of the post.
Yeah, and back to your point with the high press, you stole the words right out of my mouth. I think that's what Utica could use right now to maintain possession more, because they're letting Baltimore take that, you know, pretty much all 6 of their guys upfield past that halfway line. And it provides for more offensive possession. Even off rebounds, they're collecting the ball better. They seem to be the bigger squad. And like I said, really good off the rebound as well. So Utica could really use that high press right now just to put some pressure at midfield.
Right now they have the ball, and it's Baltimore applying a lot of pressure. And extending out on Pat Thompson to Vitale. Good through ball entry here to Segura. Angled out to the wing. He saw the double team and sent it back to Ben Raymond. To the co-captain, Bo Yelovitz. Yelovitz drawing a crowd, was able to shuffle it around Michaud. Rayleigh was in the vicinity as well, but now it's stolen, and Michaud is on the break. Thompson to challenge, and he upended him. That'll be a foul. And a blue card for tripping going against Pat Thompson.
Yeah, and that's one of my points for Baltimore, is to keep their guys on the field and marking their men as well, but Utica could use it as well. As a matter of fact, Utica could probably use it a little bit more. They get into a little bit more foul trouble. Neither squads are really good on the power play. Baltimore Blast only 23% so far this year, 33% on the side of Utica City. So like I said, neither squad's very impressive on the power play, but nonetheless, both could use it.
So the first power play of the game belongs to Baltimore. Utica on the PK this year, 72%. And the last meeting between these two sides, there were no power play goals. Florida scored on their only chance on the second against Utica. So Utica has Been a little bit on and off in that regard, but 72% is relatively solid. Great break ahead, short-handed. Bordeaux, he shoots, and it lands over the bar. Challenge for the rebound. Vanzella, Raymond having to dance out of the way there. And now the Blast can waltz it back up. Back post, Pereira claps it wide, rebounded in. 7:50 to go in the first quarter. Last touched by Ferdinand. It's 1-0 Baltimore.
Yeah, and listen to that crowd fall to a hush right now. That's just an unfortunate rebound off the defenders. I mean, most of the time having all your defenders sink in to support your goalkeeper, especially when he has to go out to make a big play near the edge of the box, isn't a bad problem to have. But right there, just happened to touch a guy on the way in, and it bounced to the back of the net.
If that even touched Ferdinand, the defender was right there on his right shoulder. Either way, it's 1-0 Baltimore with 7:50 to go here in the first quarter of play. And while we have this opportunity, we again would like to tell you about MASL Primetime. MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode every Friday on MASL TV with our good friend Alex Bastiavansky. Again, MASL Primetime, really your weekly TV home for all things Major Arena Soccer League. And I also want to tip my cap as well to what Michelle Gingras is doing, of course, at Madison Square Garden Network fame. She's doing a great job with MASL midweek as well on behalf of the league. So some really good partners making some things happen on the broadcasting side for the MASL, and growing this league happens because of great content like that and really reaching the fans in new and creative ways. Anyway, it's 1-0 Baltimore coming out of the media timeout. And now Utica looking to see if they can counter back. Again, Baltimore with the early power play goal as it's hinged back to Wilkin.
I think both squads are going to have a similar look today on offense. You saw it right there with Baltimore in their first goal of the match. Just leaving a guy open on that far wing. When you have people rotating on and off, one-touch ball, a lot of plays can happen.
Right now they've got it credited to Roque, and now it's 2-0 Baltimore. Juan Pereira on the break, fresh off his one-game hiatus. He steps back into the fold and doubles up the Baltimore lead.
Just as I said it, a mistake at midfield from Yelovitz, pops back out, and another breakaway play. Again, that's another play where they're just struggling to mark their man. They're trying to get sunken up. Utica City is sunken up, trying to get all their guys up above midfield, which isn't a bad thing to do. But when you make a mistake at midfield, of course that breakaway goal is going to happen, and you saw it right there.
That's the first of the season for Juan Pereira. And it comes at a huge time. Utica down 2-0 here in the first quarter, as Baltimore went to work on the press, and from there Pereira was off to the races. And he really could scoot. They gave the first goal to Roque, but we'll see if that changes, of course. I don't remember him touching it. So right now it's Roque and then Pereira, but I imagine the first one will change. Vanzella across midfield, Vitale. Roberts shooting over the bar.
And I like that look from Roberts right there. You have to be more aggressive, more one-touch ball from Utica. Yeah, trying to maintain possession is good, but you have to beat Baltimore in their own game, which is kind of that one-touch ball, those 1-2s along the sideline and making plays.
They have recredited the first goal to Juan Pereira, so it was off the defender and in for Pereira on the power play goal to start this game. So his first and second goals of the season for Juan Pereira. And Baltimore assuming a lead 2-0 on a pair of goals by a guy that had 0 entering today's game. Michaud across to Pereira. Pereira stops short of the center circle. To the right corner. Roque banks it off the wall, sends it back to the point. And Delta cross to Pereira. A lot of changes happening behind the play for Baltimore. in the red kits today. Utica and their home blues. Diesel, in his second stint with the Blast, of course, took a couple-year hiatus to become a firefighter in Baltimore County. As a shot for the right wing, rebound was cleared away and chased back to midfield. Raymond trying to run it down against Donatelli. And it will be slipped back to Van Zella to avoid any potential harm on the part of Baltimore. Turned over in zone. Gonzalez extends the play and shoots wide. Still battled for here as it rolls towards the zone line. And Gonzalez handed it back over to Roque.
And this is where Utica's got to shield up right here at midfield. In transition, Baltimore is beating them just with pure speed. I mean, Juan Pereira isn't really a skill-heavy guy. He's more of a dude who can run off the ball, but on a breakaway, his speed is what's done it so far. That's why he has 2 goals in this match.
Slipped back to Michaud. Michaud downfield. Blast trying to play a little target ball here with Ferdinand. Dos Santos back to Michaud. They'll play it down the seam, back to Ferdinand with his recognizable headband. Banked off the end wall by Thomas. They were looking for Donatelli in front. Obasi there to clean up the mess. 4:25 to go here in the first period. It is 2-0 Baltimore. And this whole day of matches in the MASL kind of has that feel like it's moving day at the Masters. All 12 teams are playing today. So really a lot of opportunity to move up and down depending upon where you're at this point in the season.
Right, and that's the main storyline with all these guys. Baltimore Blast is a wild card team right now in sixth place, and Utica's a team looking on the outside in, that 9th spot, so just 1 spot out. Tacoma's that next team in. If they lose and Utica wins today, all of a sudden they're in that playoff picture again.
Obasi gets the turnover. He wants to go forward. Taken down at the circle. Segura helps it along to Isak Somo. Little shake and bake, razzle-dazzle move between the feet with the dribble. And now sends it back to former Baltimore player Quentin Swift. He made 1 appearance with the Blast in February of 2020. Had an assist in a 14-3 win over the Orlando Seawolves. There's a blast from the past. 3:18 to go here in the first quarter. Ball out of play. Ubi Parapovic will restart. And back to Obasi at the midline.
And Yelovitz is back on. Him and Moy Gonzalez are 2 of those guys I like at the forward spot that are more of, the equivalent in basketball to that catch-and-shoot guy, that one-touch dude. They have size. They can really boot it on that one-timer. Really expect to try and find the foot of Yelovitz, 1 touch and go.
Speaking of basketball analogies, Obasi just crossed up his man and dropped it off to the wing to Ubi Parapovic. Somo doesn't like the look in the corner as Baltimore was kind of floating that high double team to take away the wall. Roque was swung over there. So just a wise move to get it back to neutral and reset here. You don't want to get caught in a compromising pressure point to lose the ball, and Baltimore loves to pressure the wing. Into the corner, Yelovitz. Yelovitz splits it out of the double. Back to Vitali. And across to Ubi Parapovic. Pinned under the left foot. Marking him is Pereira with 2 goals in the match already. Giving Baltimore the edge. And off the dasher and out here for Mello on the clear. Back to Wilkin.
Yeah, the intent here from Utica is to just try and find 1 guy open in that attacking zone, but they're just not moving the ball fast enough.
Slipped out to Ubi Parapovic, Rookie of the Year with Syracuse in the old MISL 10 years ago. In the corner, set up to Schindler. He had his defender down. Donatelli lost an edge there. Was able to get back up and recover. And now slid down low to Schindler in the corner. He tries to back down his defender. Looking for an option, plays it with the right foot back to Yelovitz. 1:23 to go in the first quarter. Again, 2 goals for Baltimore at 7:09 and 7:44, both of them by Juan Pereira, who had more goals in 1 minute than he did the rest of the year put together. So he's really having a nice outing, making the difference so far on the road here.
And that's what you see in the indoor game a lot. Some people are just hot and some are cold. I mean, you saw it with Wilkins' start. He made a lot of great saves in just 5 minutes. Of course, with the pressure he's been under, a couple are going to fall through, and they did. But like I said, it's a really streaky game, both athletically and just as a team or a contingent as a whole.
The 2021 Ron Newman Cup champ from San Diego, Ben Raymond, up in the high press there, but Baltimore gets it downfield. Back to Keita, playing just his second game of the season. Donatelli back to Keita. At the zone line, 32 seconds to go in the quarter. His shot is blocked. And now Vitale up to slide challenge there on Keita. It was kept alive briefly by Roque before the whistle sounded. On that little tangle at the zone line, and it will end up back in Utica hands with 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. Vitale back to Wilkin. Wilkin on the move across center. Lost it downfield. They were looking for Tavernisi cutting through the box, but it got headed off before it could ever get there. Tavernisi from the right wing off the counterattack. Plays it off the boards and deflected from out in front by Michaud. 3 seconds to go in the quarter, and Baltimore content to just let it go and bring this frame to a close. Both goals by Juan Pereira to this point in the contest. Baltimore with a 2-0 lead here at Utica. We'll be back in a moment on MASL TV. Second meeting of the season on this turf here in Utica, New York. Baltimore leading Utica City FC by a 2-0 score. It's been the Juan Pereira show with a pair of goals, both happening at 7:09 and then 7:44. The 7:09 goal was a power play strike. So for Utica, the road ahead is now paved with a couple of bumps. And they'll have 45 minutes to try to get back on the horse, and certainly nothing decided up to this point in the contest. But no doubt the road ahead with some obstruction here. Two teams will switch ends. Wilkin to the right, Van Zella to the left. And we're up and running here in quarter number 2.
Look for Utica to just try and find a man open in that attacking zone. They're going to keep rotating that ball. And I'm a big fan of Moy Gonzalez. I think that should be the dude you're looking for in that attacking zone. He's a great guy on that one-time shoot and go.
Back to Pat Thompson. Thompson had a penalty earlier. Utica unable to come away unscathed from that penalty kill. Now to Gonzalez, hinging off the boards. Dos Santos, one of the elite defenders in this league, staying right with him. Back to the point, Nate Bordeaux, the co-captain, former Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Across to Schindler. Down low into the corner and sent back up top towards Schindler. Back to Ben Raymond. Raymond, of course, the man who scored a memorable game-winning goal down at Baltimore at CQ Arena 2 years ago. It was a game winner in overtime that was no doubt a key win for Utica at the time. Of course, we never saw how the story ended to that season, but it was no doubt huge at the time, really, for the club, for the fan base, for everyone at this point. As Roque got taken down at the zone line, he is back up to his feet. Foul was on Utica, and behind the ball in the restart is Isaiah Dorsey. Newcomer to this squad from Shippensburg. Rather, that's Mello behind the ball. And it rattles along the boards into the hands of Wilkin. Wilkin looking for the long thrown distribution. Header by Bordeaux out to Segura. Segura sliding it back to Raymond. And City will be able to reset.
Baltimore with that high press, it's helped them so far. I mean, Juan Pereira at that top of that press has gotten a couple of basically steal away goals from the capitalization of mistakes at midfield. Again, you pressure Utica City for trying to get more service from midfield, but with that pressure, they've clearly made a couple of mistakes they could not afford.
From his own side of midfield, now it's Obasi directing traffic. And you talk about that high press and what it's really done up to this point. I think the teams that are high pressing more often are creating a lot more chances because of the new goalkeeper possession rule. It hasn't led to an increase in a lot of scoring, but I think it's definitely tactically changed the game a little bit as Wilkin came out to charge on Donatelli on the break, and there will be a blue card against Utica. I believe this will be a second Baltimore power play. The blue card shown to Wilkin. Utica will be allowed to send somebody over to serve. Another look at it here as Wilkin came out at Donatelli. And instead of a power play, it is a shootout opportunity. And they're going to go to Juan Pereira to take it here, already looking for the hat trick.
Yeah, I mean, who else? He's red hot. I think Nito, who's stepping in at head coach today, I think he kind of gets the storyline here. Pereira's red hot early on. Why not give him another shot? And on that play, just unfortunate when the goalkeeper has to step out, the instinct to stick his hands out, and it clearly affected the play right there.
Salmal going into the box for good measure, but it will be a shootout opportunity first here for Pereira, looking for the hat trick. He steps around Wilkin, he shoots and scores. He's got a hat trick already. Just 18 or so minutes into the game. 17 plus. Either way, it's 3-0 Baltimore on a hat trick, a natural hat trick for Juan Pereira.
Again, as a former goalkeeper, that one-on-one breakaway play is the toughest to defend, and that's 3 plays now that he's seen Pereira in a circumstance where he's just coming straight at him and no defenders are there to help. It is by far the toughest play, and you can't really be mad at Wilkin for that one. He bit on the initial shot attempt, and he really made the right reaction to stick out the foot, but with that diving effort, he couldn't get back up to defend on that secondary shot, and it's just a great play by Pereira. Not much you can do if you're Wilkin.
So Utica now with a digger hole to dig out of. Long shot, score! It's Vitale!
Before you can finish your sentence, Vitale stepping in, so a couple of guys off the bench making a difference now. Utica City needs to ride off this momentum.
Domenico Vitale with his first goal this season from a long, long way away. And just like that, Utica has the answer they need to at least get some positive energy back on that side of the aisle. It's now 3-1.
And I couldn't even get into what I was going to say either, because what I was going to say is now Baltimore is feeling awfully comfortable. You could see them defensively at least sitting back on their heels. That's when you attack right off that last goal. You see if you can put a shot to start attacking the goalkeeper, and clearly the keeper was caught off guard right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, words were hard for me right there, but Vitali made that look easy. Tavernisi chipped it off the end boards, looking for Roberts, who was slicing through, rather Pat Thompson, excuse me. And now we'll reset here with the zone line with Yelovitz. Tavernisi back to Schindler. Tavernisi down the left side. Circling in, Diesel on his back here. And knocked away from the box.
Look for him to just put more shots on goal. I mean, again, that's what you saw with Vitali right there. I think that was Ryan Hall's intention. Just put more shots on. They're clearly on their heels, and I think they've woken up a little bit now after a 3-goal lead. Baltimore's like, oh man, Utica's here to stay.
Segura back to Roberts, or rather Vitali. Vitali here at the center circle. Across to Bordeaux. Bordeaux to the middle. Yelovitz. Yelovitz right-footed shot is blocked away by Dos Santos. Off the end wall, that time attempting one was Bordeaux. And it rattles around back to the point. Utica will reset. 11:20 to go here before halftime. Vitali switching places with Segura. Segura from distance, high and wide. Settled at the left foot of Gonzalez. And he'll scoop one over the bar.
And Gonzalez isn't happy about that shot, but I can't be too mad if I'm Coach Ryan Hall. You have to love the aggression. A lot of one-time shots. They get a couple of touches, 2 and out. Again, just pressuring the goalkeeper. Like you said, Ryan Hall clearly has seen that Baltimore's felt comfortable on this 3-goal lead, and that's Vitali's intention right there, to just put more pressure on the keeper.
11:05 to go in the second quarter. Vanzella to midfield, a takedown on Donatelli, or on Jamie Thomas rather, at the midfield logo. Foul goes against Utica. Behind the ball, Rayleigh. And it will be handed right back to Utica here.
Back and forth on these free kick attempts. And that's a part of the veteranship of a lot of these pro guys. I mean, I was just about to say Jamie Thomas, a former Red Bull for New York in the USL back in the day. That's a big veteran move right there, trying to draw that foul at midfield. I think a part of that theatrics that he displayed for us.
Played back to Ubi Parapovic. From the center zone line, left-footed pass across to Logan Roberts, or rather to Obasi. Obasi stepping ahead. Obasi pulls it back at the zone line, then collided with Pereira. And that will be a free kick just beyond the zone line here for Utica.
Yohan Pereira before this game, no goals, 1 assist. Now has 4 points on the season with a hat trick so far. And perhaps just getting a little too excited on defense.
Obasi holds it up along the boards. Pereira watching him carefully. Pereira with the hat trick, giving Baltimore a 3-1 lead. Roque gathered it up off the steal. Up to Thomas. To the right wing, Rayleigh. And back to the trailing Michaud. Blast changing back behind the play as Ferdinand gets a touch. And back to Vanzella. William lights into it with his right foot. Headed away from the top of the box by Obasi. Back heel from Gonzalez. Ahead towards Ubi Parapovic. And that's accounted for by Mello. Obasi.
Now this is a really good look by Utica. Textbook work on defense, getting that high press, pressuring the service up front, and then stealing the ball away at midfield after making their own mistake at midfield. Textbook work by Ryan Hall's squad right there.
Here's Logan Roberts, back to Thompson. Schindler slides it down the kick play to the boards into the corner for Yelovitz. Little one-on-one handoff in the corner there to Jake Schindler. And now Roberts taking that spot in the formation. Thompson cutting to the right. Little skip pass out to Tavernisi. Hand angles it off the boards. They were looking for the header from Yelovitz. That got cleared away. Utica again can reset. Good run of possession here for the boys in blue. Thompson was blocked. He stays with it. Tried to center it back. It got broken up by Ferdinand on that pass intended for Roberts. Well-timed defensive play there by the visiting side. 3-1 Baltimore. 8:20 before halftime. And now ahead to Yelovitz, left wing side. Stops on a dime. Back post. Feeds. Segura scores! Christian Segura with his 3rd goal this season. Comes up in a big spot here in the first half to trim the Baltimore lead back down to 3-2.
If you're trying to epitomize what a major Arena Soccer League goal looks like, couple of rebounds, finding the back of the net, that's textbook stuff right there from Ryan Hall's Christian Segura. Looking so sharp on that rebound, and what else could you ask for? Utica clawing their way back. This is a textbook MASL game right here. A 3-goal lead for the Blast, and all of a sudden, Utica's back in this matchup.
Christian Segura, a smooth operator with his 3rd of the year. And a huge goal for his confidence, no doubt, as he's been pretty quiet to start this season.
Now the Blast are pressuring for another goal already. Just back and forth. I have a feeling this is going to be a high-scoring game, Ray.
Big bad Bo Yelovitz, the captain, picks up the assist. As a shot goes up and out of play behind Wilkin, that will bring us to the media timeout. The score now 3-2. Utica scored the last 2 goals to answer the early Baltimore run. And before we go to break, we want to tell you about MASLsoccer.com, your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features you can expect. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note. We'll step away. 3-2 Baltimore leading Utica on MASL TV. Ready to restart with an in-zone free kick for Baltimore. And it's sent across and up and out of play.
We barely have time to get back on, Ray. That's how fast this game has been played so far. I know indoor soccer is a quick game. I mean, so is hockey, and they're essentially the same sport. Yet we're stepping into a really, really fast game, even for Arena Soccer tonight.
Skied downfield out to the goal mouth of Van Zell. A lot of paint scraping happening in front there between Michaud and Yelovitz. Those two trading some paint. 7:22 to go before we hit the end of the first half. Baltimore scored the first 3 goals of this contest. Utica pounding in a pair to come back. Lofted down, high neutral zone, headed away by the big fella, Jake Schindler. An absolute tank at 5'11", 205, really packs on the muscle. That's a guy who definitely hits the weights a lot more than I ever will.
Yeah, that's the archetype of a real, midfield, kind of defensive-minded Arena Soccer player right there. You get a lot more bigger build guys.
That guy probably lifts more weights in one workout than I probably will the rest of my life. 6:44 to go before halftime.
So that's the thing, Ray. I'm about 5'11", 205 too, but I think it's a different type of 205.
Fair enough. Still would qualify you for the cruiserweight division in professional wrestling, though. Along the far boards, the Blast waltzing ahead. Pereira, again with the hat trick today for Baltimore. Hinged over to Hughes. Josh Hughes from Peachtree City, Georgia, playing in his 6th game of the year. Into the corner, Ferdinand hands it back. Keita had it deflected away. And now the loose ball pounced on, an attempt for Pereira was stuffed.
And Utica, honestly, was really lucky to get away without a goal in the back of the net right there. It's a great play by Brian Wilkin, kind of a reactive save, got his hands on it, got out of the way, but they can't afford to make those mistakes at midfield again.
Out of the corner, Ferdinand, chased away to the wall by Ubi Parapovic. Gonzalez needs some help out of the back. He finds Obasi. And now Thompson rims it back for Wilkin. Utica slanting, Yelovitz across the neutral zone to collect possession of the ball. Yelovitz will shake and bake move. Getting ahead of Diesel for a moment. Yelovitz shoots from an angle, it's high. The rebound hunted down by the man with the first Utica goal, Domenico Vitali. Obasi near wing side. And a little tie up there, Yelovitz together with Diesel.
And Coach Hall's doing a great job of rotating a bunch of different faces on tonight. They all provide different, kind of archetypes of talent. You've seen Segura and Vitalia both gotten shots from distance.
Ubi Parapovic off the free kick set up by Segura. That's stopped by Vanzella. Rolled distribution out to the far wing for Dos Santos. He will take his time to hinge it over to his goalkeeper. 4:42 before we hit halftime. Utica this year a 1-2 home record, their lone home win, and their only 2 wins period this year on a 2-4 record. Both coming against the Harrisburg Heat in the same weekend. And of course that was that Friday night game here at the Odd, followed by a Saturday game at Harrisburg at the Farm Show Arena. Headed up and out of play by Bordeaux. Baltimore pleading for top of the box. Will they get it? I don't know that the answer is yes. It will not be yes. Thomas behind the rock here. With 10 blocked shots this year for the Blast. Also has a shorthanded goal to his name. And a great steal here by Onua Obasi. Obasi showing a lot of gas in the tank today, willing to go forward for his side.
And that's a smart play by Obasi. Usually right there, a young player like him is going to want to pressure, but he saw a Blast, beating him to the punch. Slow down and just maintain possession. That's the biggest thing right there in a breakaway play.
Up the left wing, Yelovitz. Yelovitz holding up the ball, pins it down long enough for Schindler to shoot. He missed that wide to the left, and the rebound is cleared away by Dos Santos.
If you're Schindler, you got to get that on target right there. Put pressure on the goalkeeper, because either way, on a shot near the top of his goalkeeping box, as long as you get a rebound, you kind of won that play because you're upping the odds of finding the back of the net.
Michaud cleared that away, by the way. 3.5 to go here in the second quarter. Long shot whistling wide, and the rebound hops back to Segura. Segura, left wing, board to Yelovitz. Back to Thompson. Thompson will try his luck from distance with a little curveball. And that will be gathered up by Vanzella. That one had a little bit of a right to left hook on it. A lot of side spin as he got it in there.
Yeah, that's an underrated part of a lot of the shots you get as a goalkeeper in indoors. These guys can get really tricky with it. I've seen guys in my indoor days, really regular shots from far distances, but they nuck it, they curve it, and somehow it finds the back of the net, even if it's not well aimed.
Roberts, Gonzalez, he shoots off the post. It was stopped by Vanzella and deflected right back to the woodwork there. Bordeaux, back to Schindler, across to Segura, with a goal in this match today for Utica. Segura into the box, and that is smothered up by Vanzella.
Again, Vanzella is just so decisive in the box.
And a great steal by Schindler. Counterattack chance, Swift scores! His second goal in a Utica uniform off the counterattack, and his first in this building. Welcome to Utica, Quentin Swift.
Swift looking swift out there, not much else you can say. Textbook work. Ryan Hall's got this squad fired up right now.
It's a tie game. 2:17 before halftime. 3-3. And Quentin Swift.
Utica City FC goal.
Stepping up big and delivering like UPS.
Swift. With the assist on the play to number 42, Schindler.
Schindler will get the assist. Quentin Swift on the tally to tie this game. All square and effectively a 0-0 game here approaching the midway point. Utica with a big rally to tie this up after they fell behind 3-0. This is the kind of run Utica needs to change the complexion of this season. Back up top to the point, Obasi. Schindler moving along through center, out to Ubi Parapovic. And he'll slice it back to Obasi. Obasi. Couple little crazy leg step overs there. The man marking him was Ferdinand. Somo on the move, and then hip checked off the ball by Ferdinand. 1 minute to go in the half.
And look at Somau, the Utica native, just pop right back up and pressure the play, and eventually the ball rolls back down to Utica's side, although they're not going to maintain possession on that play.
Isak, an interesting story. In the modern sense, of course, he now calls Utica his home. He moved here from Kenya in 2006. Ended up starring at Proctor High School, then Herkimer College, then MVCC. Somo, the man we just mentioned, touching it here out to Swift, and that was blanketed well by the Blast as they chase it away to center. Up to Michaud, in front of the bench area, and then tripped over the leg of Vitali. Vitali wasn't even facing him, and he ended up getting spilled over. Good sportsmanship between those two. 24.2 before the half. 3-3 the score. Utica overturning the early Pereira hat trick to get this back to level.
And although a short amount of time, 24 seconds can turn the tide really quickly, Baltimore is going to try and maintain possession, and just like in basketball with the shot clock going, you can just try and get that last shot into the back of the net.
There's kind of two schools of thought here if you're Baltimore on what to do. On one end, you value the ball and you want to see if you can get something out of the possession. On another end, I think at this point you just need to do what you can to avoid giving Utica any further momentum, because Utica's got it all at their back right now after that early sluggish start. Along the far boards, rattled in towards the goal of Wilkin. One final chance for Michaud, and it's pinned to the glass by Wilkin. That brings us to the end of the first half. It has been a tale of two teams here today. Baltimore with the control early. A hat trick by Pereira, including a penalty kick goal, building a 3-0 lead for the visiting Blast. But Utica bounced back with goals by Vitali, Segura, and Swift. And before we get going out of here for the halftime break, we want to tell you first about our interview with Onua Obasi. We've got a young kid reporter down there interviewing him now.
I think turnovers are key. Make sure
Nice job by that young man interviewing Onua Obasi. Back up here in the broadcast booth. Before we step away for break, we want to tell you first about MASL social media. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. And also, while we have an opportunity as well, a good chance to tell you about Chill Brands, a recent new partner with the MASL. Chill.com is the official CBD brand of the MASL, helping our athletes reach their maximum potential by promoting proper and expedited recovery. Welcome to Club Chill. We'll step away for the halftime break. Third quarter coming up, and it should be a good one. It's 3-3, Utica and Baltimore at the half on MASL TV.
It's time for the Davidson of Rome High Five Intermission. Turn to the person next to you and give them your best high five. Ready? 3, 2, 1, bam! Go Utica FC! Score your best deal on a vehicle at Davidson of Rome. Family owned for over 50 years. Shop over 800 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs at DavidsonGMRome.com.
Let's go, Utica!
What's your story? What moments make life an adventure? Community is where memories happen. At Bank of Utica, enriching our community for current and future generations has been part of our mission since 1927. By supporting local, community-focused organizations, we work together to open doors to education, the arts, and meaningful career paths. Making stories to remember. Bank with Utica.
Get moving with the Planet Fitness Black Card and check out all the perks. Like access to over 2,000 locations? You got it. Bring a guest anytime. That's right. And relax and unwind with massage chairs and more. Plus get tons of variety and space to move in our super clean clubs. Your fitness is essential. Join Planet Fitness today and get all the perks of the PF Black Card.
Get all the perks at Planet Fitness Utica. For more details, visit planetfitness.com.
From couch to car and couch again, Cookies Q is your one-stop shop for dinner and dessert. Just give us a call, let us know you're ordering to go, and we'll have your meal ready for you hot and fresh. Eat like a boss and try our famous Boss Burger, or try one of our juicy chicken sandwiches. We've got combos, kids meals, and more. Did we mention we've got ice cream 7 days a week, all year round? And if you're feeling extra lazy, Cookies is available on DoorDash and Grubhub. Cookies Q and Creamery, open 7 days a week on North Genesee Street in Utica. Spend your weekend brunching at Babes. Every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2, the only place to be is Babes for brunch. Featuring our famous sticky bun pancakes. And did we mention $10 endless mimosas all brunch long? And for the football fans in your life, we've got all the action live at Babes on Sunday. What more could you want in your weekend? See you at Babes, open 7 days a week on 80 North Genesee Street in Utica.
It's time for the Davidson of Rome High Five Intermission. Turn to the person next to you and give them your best high five. Ready? 3, 2, 1, bam! Go Utica FC! Score your best deal on a vehicle at Davidson of Rome. Family owned for over 50 years. Shop over 800 new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs at DavidsonGMRome.com.
Let's go, Utica!
follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and give us a like on Facebook to stay updated on all Utica City FC news and events. Join us Sunday, January 23rd for more Utica City FC action as they take on the Ontario Fury at 2 p.m. Tickets available at uticacity.com/tickets. Get into the holiday spirit and join us at 72 Tavern and Grill after the game to enjoy your food and drink under the twinkle light, conveniently located at the Adirondack Bank Center. Want to look just like our stylish Utica City FC squad? Head over to our team store and check out this year's new Capelli Sport official player gear. You can get your hands on the same warm-ups and travel gear worn by your favorite city players. Supplies are limited, so don't wait. Utica City Merch also makes great gifts for the holidays. Well, we'd like to welcome to today's game the Utica College men's hockey squad. Give it up for your Pioneers, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back here on MASL TV, a 3-3 game at halftime at the Adirondack Bank Center at the Utica Memorial Auditorium. Utica and Baltimore here this afternoon. While we have a moment, we would like to tell you about MASL Primetime. It's the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Friday on MASL TV with our friend Alex Bastiavansky. Again, that's MASL Primetime. And I believe as well it might air on linear TV in a few select markets out there. At least last I checked, that was the case. 3-3 the score. Utica, Baltimore, Pereira with the early hat trick, and then Utica came surging back. So let me ask you, Kyle, what do you think happened in that transitional phase between the early stages of the second quarter? Utica gets that quick bounce back goal from Vitali, and from there it was full steam ahead the rest of the way to tie it up.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as it seemed, it looks like the Juan Pereira show, but the fact of the matter is you cannot afford to make it the Juan Pereira show. It has to be a more contingent or cohesive group the Baltimore Blast has to be. And I think Nito's done a great job at stepping in as the former assistant, now head coach currently today for the Blast. But clearly the squad has just not looked as a cohesive contingent. That combined with the fact that they've just kind of calmed down and fallen back on their heels, Utica City's pressure just kind of boiled over, and Baltimore is not capitalizing on the mistakes as well as they were, 3 goals ago.
I certainly think the attack balance has been pretty concentrated between the two teams, with the early run for Baltimore and then the run for Utica. But I will say both teams have defended relatively well given the circumstances. 3-3 is a relatively low-scoring game in this league. And speaking of scoring, Baltimore retakes the lead. Mello jumping up and firing one to the top drawer. And it's 4-3 Baltimore with 14:21 to go in the third quarter. Look at the replay. It was just a simple takeaway at the zone line, and he zipped in on the counterattack and put it over the shoulder of Wilkin.
Yeah, you see it on that replay right there. Just the poise to, off the rebound, get the touch on the steal, and just pound the back of the net. He placed it in the air, kind of a half volley shot right there. So obviously really incredible poise right there on the shot attempt. But the fact of the matter is, Utica cannot afford to make mistakes at midfield. And right there, they didn't clean up their own mess. Another steal-away goal, and that's the fourth one tonight of all 4 goals for Baltimore Blast.
Mello with his 7th of the year, one off the team lead, currently held by Lucas Roque. And he becomes the first man not named Juan Pereira to score for Baltimore today. So a good start to the half for Baltimore, just as they had in the first half of play. Good opportunity the other way. Little pivot shot there for Gonzalez. Follow-up chances for Segura and Vitali, and it's finally scooped up by Vanzella. So a wave of attack chances the other way now, and I have a gut feeling we're going to see a little bit more end-to-end action here in this third and fourth quarter. I think it's going to be a lot more like a tennis match. Volley, return, volley, return. Pereira settles it down. Sends it back to Rayleigh. Around the perimeter. Takedown by Obasi. He's got the ball. As he came together with Hughes. Slid back to the zone line to Wilkin. Bordeaux. Back to Domenico Vitali. Bordeaux. And that's a turnover. Jeremy Rayleigh with possession of it here.
And again, if you're Utica, you cannot afford to make these mistakes at midfield. Baltimore is really good off the breakaway. Now that one is just kind of a turnover going the other way, so it would be hard for Baltimore to kind of create a breakaway on that opportunity, but such a fast squad, they capitalize so well with the boards on those breakaways. All 4 goals as a result.
Dos Santos downfield to the corner. Thomas looking for Ferdinand. A battle ensuing at the top of the box. And it's Thomas who wins the ball back. Up top to Diesel. He has help behind him. Dos Santos steering the ship and gets it to Pereira. 12-16 to go in the third quarter. Baltimore breaking up a 3-goal Utica run to start the second half. Ferdinand slipping to the middle. He's being marked by Yelovitz. Back to Dos Santos. Donatelli. Through the middle for Mello, the goal scorer to start the second half. Mello, a fabulous player, extended his goal scoring streak to 5 straight games, by the way, for Baltimore. And now there's a steal from Ben Raymond with a team-high 10 blocked shots. He's been a defensive workhorse so far on this relatively young season yet. Yelovitz was double-teamed on the ball, a steal, and it's sent back across center. Vitali there to run it down. Wilkin from the top of his own goal box. Looking to see if he can split everybody and hit Thompson fresh off the bench. He was trying to get off to the races. Utica recovers at center. Gonzalez shoots. It hits a body and from way, way away from the Baltimore goal and rattles out to the near wing, and Mello scoops it up.
Yeah, and that brings me to my main point for Utica in this second half. It's just to continue to put shots on goal. On that play, you know, probably a couple more touches just to set up the shot. Instead, he kind of forced it right there. But still, getting men all up into that attacking zone and putting more shots on goal, collecting up those rebounds, and just more and more pressure on Baltimore is what they could use right now.
Vanzella way downfield. A turning shot by Michaud. Ended up clapping off the glass. Roque back to the point, reset to Dos Santos. Juan Pereira looking for a 4th goal in this game. Dos Santos tries from distance. It's blocked by Tavernisi. Hughes knocked down in the corner, gets right back up on a collision with Gonzalez. Obasi challenges him now. A foul and a free kick. It goes against Baltimore.
Now look for Utica again to just try and get, whilst maintaining possession, try and get as many guys upfield as possible. You see 2 different dynamics between these 2 squads.
Yelovitz along the boards, and that will be vacuumed up by Vanzella.
Again, Baltimore, a squad that plays on the smallest field in the MASL. And because of that, they're so used to being shrunken up. They want to stretch the field. And then the opposite for Utica, a team where, you know, not only is it in their style of play to maintain possession and stretch the field, but of course they play on a regular size, if not longer field. They are, in this circumstance, wanting to shrink the field and get more guys upfield, more pressure bunched up into smaller spaces, especially considering the skill sets they have in the field. All these guys are really good with one-touch play and go.
Obasi to Schindler. Veteran defensive pairing back there. Down the left wing, great ball into the box. Roberts tips it in on goal. Save made by Van Zella. Distribution down the far wing. Little hand checking going on there between Schindler and Thomas. And it will be awarded back to Utica City FC.
I don't know if Schindler's a guy you want to kind of get into that fighting for the ball business with.
Yeah, somehow I think that matchup for most human beings would be like Jackie Moon trying to wrestle Dewey the Bear in the movie Semi-Pro. I would not want to try. That's like wrestling a grizzly. Thomas, back to Van Zella. He nearly puts it off the scoreboard, and it ends up out of play into the Utica bench. Van Zella had some height on that. 8:53 to go here in the third quarter. And Utica off the restart. Ahead to Raymond. Raymond to Gonzalez. Looking to set up the volley. He shoots. That's blocked by Michaud and recovered by William Van Zella.
Van Zella's service has been class all night. Just knows which guy to play it to. And again, when you have the defense that he has, where look at him. That's 4 guys circling in and out of that neutral zone. Just maintaining possession. One touch and out, one touch and out. His defense is really good at playing off of the plays he sets up, and that's why they get the ball upfield so well.
Recovered here off the pressure by Raymond. Raymond streaking down the wing, now slows up, realizes Mello's in his path. Thompson to Raymond. And back the center circle to Thompson again. Raymond out wide to Moises Gonzalez. Gonzalez today has been held without a point. He's had a quiet afternoon, and Utica would like to change that, especially in a tight battle here. 4-3 Baltimore. The go-ahead goal coming in the second half from Jonatas Mello. Yelovitz muscling his way towards the goal frame. Easy stop there for Van Zella. Rolled out to Roquet and down to Wilkin. Little double clutch by Wilkin. Now he'll heave it down. Into the one-on-one matchup there. Yelovitz being marked up by Michaud.
The majority of the time, Yelovitz poised on the ball is what kind of creates the opportunities for him. Such a big dude, but when he gets on the ball, he maintains possession up against the boards especially so well, and then he can create an opportunity off of that, whether it's a pass off the glass or getting it back to those guys near the top of the attacking zone.
Obasi from Birmingham, United Kingdom. Now makes his home here in the States. Schindler. By all accounts, Schindler, a fortunate addition to Utica City FC under the circumstances presented by the state of the world, of course. Rochester electing to sit this season out. Schindler would have went to Rochester and played for the Lancers.
Meanwhile,
at least for last season and probably for this year as well, if the Lancers had played. Shot off the end boards by Yelovitz looking for the wall of Scora. It will end up sliding through back to the top of the zone.
And as I was just about to remark, how about this defensive stand by Baltimore, just pressuring these guys all the way up to their opposite side of the neutral zone. But then again, Utica's service from midfield, which has improved exponentially, helping them get downfield.
Great move by Tavernisi cutting into the box. His shot was blocked by Michaud. And with 5:42 to go in the third quarter, Utica going to have a great opportunity here.
And kind of a ticky-tack call, too, just looking back at the replay. And, you know, whatever you can take it for Utica right now. Again, the Blast opening up this second half with a big goal off of what they've been doing all night, although it's not Juan Pereira this time. Another play at midfield where they're kind of capitalizing off the service mistakes of Utica City and then coming in And like I said, capitalizing off the mistakes and with their poise, finishing to the back of the net. Their placement has been so fantastic all night.
And while we have an opportunity here at this media timeout with 5:42 to go in the third quarter, Baltimore leading 4-3, we want to take an opportunity one more time to tell you about the official match ball of the Major Arena Soccer League, designed and produced by Flight. Expertly designed for the indoor game, Flight is the premier partner of choice. Flight, challenge everything. For the second straight time here at home in this building, Utica finds themselves in a one-goal game in the second half. As we get ready to pick up third quarter play, following this performance from the Utica City Dance Crew. And they are on their way off now, so Utica with an in-zone restart. Free kick right side on the foul against Baltimore. Shots, by the way, at last count, 14-13 Utica.
Look for him to try and find the foot of Gonzalez on the opposite side. Just past, they're going to play it past Segura. Trying to switch fields for the quick one shot.
Three-man wall for the blast, which is going to make it tough for Ubi Parapovic to go for a goal in this situation. Will stutter stop, now feeds in the middle. Bordeaux stopped, follow-up chance, and it's cleared off the line by Donatelli. Nate Bordeaux almost punched that home, and Donatelli had it set at his feet in front of the right post and cleared it away. Baltimore survives a huge chance there. That would have tied the game, but it's 4-3 still.
And they did exactly what I expected, trying to play it past right through the box. So they're just trying to flick it past that wall, kind of threading the needle and finding that guy on the opposite side. They just couldn't finish. It's a great job by Vanzella right there.
For the record, by the way, a bench warning issued to Baltimore at 9:18 of the quarter. Again, a bench warning to Baltimore. That was just announced here on the PA system. Mello from the midline. He's got a goal in the second half. Right now, it's the difference maker, putting Baltimore up 4-3. A foul against Dos Santos up against Tavernisi. Dos Santos pleading his case as it's put down on the zone line for Raymond. By the way, a rather unconventional schedule coming up for Utica here in terms of recent franchise history. Dos Santos having a word still about what he thinks of that call.
Yeah,
and
Dos
the defense
Santos,
rests.
He's a chippy guy. I don't know if those words were for the ref or for the player. All MASL last season. I think he has the right to talk a little bit.
And put up into the roof cables here, 72 of them in all. And that will result in a zone line restart for Utica.
You know this place like the back of your hand, huh?
Yes, I do. Been here a long time. The last decade plus, I've learned about just about every nook and cranny of this place, including things like the signature from David Lee Roth up in the rafters that I actually didn't know about until a couple months ago. Utica comes away empty-handed on the restart as it's quickly hustled back to center. Roque to the wing. Pereira tried to give and go, and Segura said no to that. Made a great intercept. Tremendous anticipation from the second season City man.
And that might have really saved a goal right there, because that could have been the fifth time tonight that Utica gave up a mistake at midfield. Baltimore had a lot of guys up, which they usually do because of that high press, and then they finished.
A long shot attempt will end up in the protective netting behind Vanzella. But anyway, back to the scheduling point. Utica going to play Milwaukee here, or rather at Milwaukee, 8:35 p.m. on Friday, January 21st. That'll be their next match, and then Utica, for the first time ever, is going to play a couple teams from California. They'll play the Ontario Fury on the 23rd, next Sunday. And then on the 30th, they're going to Pechanga Arena to play the San Diego Sockers. So a few matches that Utica has never had before, as far as their existence here in the Handshake City is concerned. So some exciting new challenges lie ahead. But right now, we've got ourselves a dogfight, 4-3 in the third quarter. Baltimore and Utica. Michaud down to the corner. Ferdinand explosively had a man slicing through the box. It was Hughes, and he couldn't get it on the sliding volley. And Utica recovers. They'll carry the other way. Bordeaux slowed up on the counterattack. Typical Baltimore rush defense there. Get the 5 back as quickly as you can and stop the ball. And that's kind of in a lot of ways the model that Utica has built their success off of over the last few seasons. Right now, Utica, though, looking for a season-sparking win coming into this one at 2-4. Down to Yelovitz, left wing. He is marked up by Michaud. Yelovitz across to Thompson. Thompson from the right wing, dances in, he shoots, scores! Pat Thompson with Yelovitz camping there on the back post, but he didn't need him. And it slides in behind Van Zella to tie the score at 4. And for Pat Thompson, it's goal number 3 in a Utica uniform and his first in this building.
How about that shot from Pat Thompson? Norfolk, Virginia native, and he shot that one all the way back from home. Virginia State, kind of a chip shot from probably a good 20 to 30 feet. That's a tough finish right there and a smaller goal in the indoor league. That'll wake up the crowd too.
That'll definitely get the crowd going. Pat Thompson with a huge goal to tie the score. Ferdinand up top, Pereira looking for his 4th. It deflected off of Swift and into the waiting arms of Wilkin. Final stages of the 3rd quarter, it's 4-4.
Time of the goal was 12:17. Again, that's Thompson from Yelovitz.
Yelovitz gets the assist. Thompson with the goal. That big 3rd quarter equalizer. Bordeaux scoops it over the top. Raymond trying to hunt it down along the wall. Gets it back and protects the ball well against the double team. As he's angled away into the wall, Roque now gets a foot in there to dislodge it. And Thomas able to hinge it back to Van Zella. And good thing he got it out when he did. If you're Baltimore, as Gonzalez was camping on the doorstep. Stolen away, Thomas. To Rayleigh. To the feet of Mello. Handed back, Donatelli through a couple of screens set in front. Wilkin ended up spilling backwards as that shot landed wide of the target. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. 4-4.
I think Baltimore is looking to do the same thing that they did last time around. Maintain possession until the last few seconds, see if they can capitalize right before going into that final quarter.
Ferdinand down the wing, had it knocked off of his foot, but he recovers. Down to Donatelli. Donatelli has help. It's Mello looking for his 2nd. He shoots, and it was stopped off the foot of Wilkin.
That is one of the toughest saves in soccer for sure, that foot save, especially one from distance. That ball's moving away from him, a little bit of spin on it, and he's stretched out. I'm not a very flexible guy. I always struggled with foot saves. I was more of a diving effort type of keeper in my day, but man, those foot saves, even for a smaller keeper like Wilkin, are so hard to do without having incredibly quick feet.
And there's a steal. Yelovitz couldn't hang on to it. A strong touch by Yelovitz turns the ball back over at a time when he could have had a great counterattack chance, but you have to love the opportunism either way. And this crowd enjoying the end of the 3rd quarter a lot more than how it started. We're at 4-4 going in to the 4th quarter. Don't miss it. This classic Eastern Division tilt is about to add a spicy 4th quarter as part of its next chapter. Stick around on MASL TV.
Whichever team gets the most balls into their goal wins. Ready?
Outset of the fourth quarter, it's 4-4. Utica and Baltimore, the second and third teams in the Eastern Division standings at the moment. Utica in third, Baltimore in second. Utica with a win today would actually move ahead of Baltimore if they do it in regulation, of course, if they can get the 3 points. But Baltimore does have a game in hand at 3-2 at the moment. Utica trying to snap a 2-game slide, both of them against the first place Florida Tropics. And Baltimore trying to rebound from a Friday loss at Dallas. A game in which they were down 5-2 late with 5.5 minutes to go. And they score a couple of extra attacker goals. The goals from Mello, Rayleigh, Michaud, and Donatelli. Utica's most recent game, of course, a 6-2 loss to Florida. Pereiras with 2 goals and an assist for the Trops, while Gonzalez and Yelovitz had the goals for Utica. So we're underway in the fourth. Part of a huge day of action here in the MASL. 6 games, everybody involved. If you like to channel surf on MASL TV or you like to bounce around checking scores, this is the type of day where the league almost needs an NFL Red Zone style channel. Far side corner, Obasi backing up to the end wall in his own zone. Off the pressure by Ferdinand. City and Baltimore, 4 apiece, 14-10 to go.
And Gonzalez is really good on the shot, but his service has been subpar today. He's given up a couple of turnovers so far for Utica.
Donatelli inching back towards the mid-circle as the Blast makes some changes. Michaud with a burst of speed down the left wing. Centering pass off the boards is cleaned up by Gonzalez, and he plays it up the wing to the speedy Joey Tavernisi, and Tavernisi got it down into the goal box of Vanzella. Ball set at his feet, and he slides it forward to Donatelli. Downfield, Roque on the left wing. He'll try to take on Schindler. Roque to the point, Michaud scores! Five for Baltimore. 13:26 to go in the fourth quarter. Michaud let it fly from a long, long way away as he took the pass from the wing. And it rattled home behind Wilkin.
Yeah, it looked like it took a deflection on the way in. Not much you can do about that if you're Wilkin. But I was just about to say it before they got that shot off. Again, this is such a fast game. You and I have struggled to keep up with it tonight. It looked like Baltimore was kind of changing up the offensive mindset going into this final quarter, where they want to be more aggressive and take a quick lead going into this final quarter. And it looked like it right there. Just taking more shots, putting more attempts on goal, and now both teams with the same mindset, just getting the shot on frame, trying to collect the rebounds and seeing what could happen.
Right now they give it to Rayleigh on the deflection. It's his second of the season. On the event, it ends up with Michaud after all. It would also be his second. But right now it goes to Rayleigh. And Rayleigh with the go-ahead goal here in the fourth quarter with 12:58 to go. A lot of time left. Utica knows what it's like to come from behind at home. They did it against Harrisburg about a month ago and ended up winning 5-4. Out to center. They do give it to Michaud. So it ends up getting credited to Michaud after all for his second of the season. It did change direction. It may have gone off the Utica player. That was camped in front of the left side post. Either way, it's 5-4 Baltimore.
Definitely a couple of unlucky goals tonight for Utica.
Foul on Yelovitz as he took down Mello, or at least forced him into a bit of a stumble there. 12:18 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, these refs have been a little ticky-tack at midfield today. A couple of whistles that could have gone without being blown.
Seems like Baltimore has really had a good edge to their play to start quarters tonight.
Maybe it has something to do with being a well-rested squad. can't really tell. I mean, you know, the travel from Baltimore can't be nice, especially with the stress of that nor'easter coming soon as well.
They have the first goal of every quarter tonight. First, second, third, and fourth. From the middle, Ferdinand. Michaud to Donatelli. Down the right wing, Thomas. Official scoring still has Raley getting the goal, but it was announced as Michaud. We'll wait for the variety to clear itself up here. 11:18 to go. Roque from the right wing. Shovels it off the boards. Raymond from out of the center. Launches a left footer downfield. And Vanzella will be there to account for that.
Yeah, and that play right there, I mean, clearly Baltimore's intent to just try and find another guy on the opposite end of that, but didn't get enough bodies upfield. Utica's got to do a way better job of communicating and just getting that ball out of the box, like right now.
Knocked off the end wall, and that will be scooped up by Wilkin. Last touched by Hughes. And down to Vanzella at the other end. 10:40 to go, 5-4 Baltimore.
And same thing again right there. Wilkins trying to force that ball upfield. No need to do that. First of all, you got to wait for your guys to get upfield. Couple of sloppy possessions right there from Utica. They might do it again here.
Ubi Parapovic, back to Vitale. Off the chest of Swift. Swift and Donatelli both go tumbling down. Well, rather, that's Jamie Thomas along the boards. And it looks like Thomas got the worst of it as he is slow to get up here. And that will bring on the trainer. Hopefully he's going to be in good spirits after that.
Yeah, just
holding
a couple
his face
of hands
right now.
flying.
He can't feel real good about it at the moment for sure.
Might have caught an elbow on the way in. Can't tell which bodies or which hands were flying in that. I mean, that's kind of a result of what looks like another, I guess, defensive change for Baltimore. They kind of play that zone-esque type of defense all night, but right now they've definitely been pressuring where they get 2 or 3 guys on top of the ball at once, and right there you see a lot of bodies colliding, and it results in an unfortunate injury. But it's kind of the style of defense Baltimore's been playing all night.
And it looks like Utica is going to be on the penalty kill. Swift is off. So the Blast to the power play, a chance to extend their lead.
The Blast are 23% conversion rate so far this season on the power play, so not the best power play team in the league, but still a huge advantage, especially late with a 1-goal lead.
And they've had it today. They do have a power play goal to their name along with a penalty shot goal, which of course is not a bona fide power play goal, but it does get counted as one.
You can't forget Utica City's got a shorthanded goal this season as well, so both teams can strike without being expected.
So 1:39 left in the penalty. Contact above the shoulder is the call on Quentin Swift. Has a goal in this game today. Now with 4:45 left, or 4:45 into the quarter rather, that puts Utica down a player. Donatelli working against Roberts along the end boards in front of Vanzella. That could have been dangerous for Baltimore. Vanzella held his ground, and now it's the Blast who can get out and run the other way. Roque back to Donatelli. Takes the return pass from Mello. Mello to the corner now. From Pereira. Pereira down low, tops the ball to slide the cross in. That got deflected away. And now steady back at midfield again. Donatelli. Down low, Roque. Roque sliding it across. Long shot, score. Mello with his second of the day. Splitting through the defensive zone coverage of Utica for the power play goal.
And the only good result from that is that the power play ends. Utica, I was just about to say, is doing a strong effort with that diamond defense when they shift into that power play defense, obviously getting as many bodies downfield as possible, and they seem to be shifting between man-to-man as well as possible. But again, Baltimore Blast really good in that sunken up kind of collapse down in each other, one-touch soccer, and they capitalize right there. Not much you can do if you're Coach Ryan Hall.
Now 6-4 Baltimore on the 8th goal of the season for Jonathan Smello. He's got goals in 4 of his last 5 against Utica coming into this one, make it 5 of his last 6. So he has been a thorn in the home side's side. It's Mello with the power play goal, putting Baltimore up by 2. It's not time to panic yet if you're Utica. The extra attacker is probably going to stay on the bench for a little while. But certainly the urgency does escalate with 8.5 minutes left. Again, it's Baltimore up by 2. Obasi playing a little isolation ball here. Makes the burst of speed down the right wing. Fed it to the front. Yelovich deflected it. And Vanzella made a great save. And now the Blast looking to run the counterattack the other way. 3-on-1 if they hurry. Michaud to the far wing. Wilkins steps out and denies Shearer, who scored his first career goal in this building. And a blue card against Baltimore.
And the crowd erupts, rightfully so. That's huge. Now Utica's going to have an advantage. That's a huge time for them to get a goal back. And then with that momentum, they can tack on another to tie things back up.
Yeah, collision there. Shearer colliding with him inside the goal box. And that will be Shearer headed off in the blue card. Utica to the power play.
Utica a little bit sharper on the power play, converting 33%, so a third of every attempt. I would say they're probably due for a big power play goal right here. How about trading a couple of power play goals in this final quarter? I have a feeling by the end of this, we're going to see that special attacker step on the field.
So Utica to the man advantage.
Top of the penalty, 6:57. That's 2 minutes for each.
Reckless tackle on Shearer is the call.
At 6:57.
At least that's what's been put in so far. Obasi around the horn to Bordeaux. Segura sidesteps, he shoots. It was a stand-up block there by Dos Santos, sending that back to midfield.
90 seconds to go in this power play. The goal, if you're Utica, is with every shot to take back possession. So if you get a rebound, make sure you collect up that rebound before you try and get another shot off.
Segura, Obasi, Bordeaux had it knocked away from him, but now a battle developing in the corner as Gonzalez settles it down. Great job to keep possession for Utica. Not allow Baltimore to win the ball back. Give and go there, Tavernisi, Segura off the end boards, and it will pinball back to center. 6-4 Baltimore. Utica trying to claw back to 1 on the deficit on this power play, but it's turned over by Obasi. Now settled by Gonzalez on the recovery. And banked in on goal and covered by Vanzella.
And watch
it was Nate Bordeaux with the chance.
Watch Vanzella take as much time as possible. And as I say that, of course, he throws it downfield. Just about to say, take as much time as possible to distribute the ball back out to his players. But I think it's clear that Coach Nito's kind of assessed the mindset of Baltimore to just stay back and defend the entire time. No reason to try and make a play unless they get a breakaway play at midfield.
Obasi up the left wing to Segura. Back to Obasi. Out to Moises Gonzalez. 28 seconds to go in the power play. Again, the penalty to Shearer. Bordeaux to Obasi. Obasi at the zone line. Segura slides that back to Obasi. Around to Bordeaux, off the woodwork. And it rattles down to the corner. Segura off the volley, put it up and out of play. And that may have been touched by Thomas with 6:08 to go in the fourth quarter. 6 seconds to go in the power play.
Yeah, it looked like it touched a red jersey on the way out, and so off this free kick, this is essentially their last chance to capitalize on the power play. This could honestly, with 6:08 left in the clock, kind of depend on, the result of the game right here. Utica needs to capitalize on the power play. From here on out, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get that goal, especially to tie it up now that they're down 2.
Time out on the field with 6:08 left to go. And here is your Sprace Collision Center play of the game. It was the goal by Quentin Swift. Just Just a great right wing effort from a guy that once played for Baltimore. And again, a look at the upcoming schedule for Utica City FC. It's a little bit unorthodox relative to what most of the schedule has consisted of over the last couple of seasons. They'll see Milwaukee on the 21st. It's a Friday at Milwaukee. Come home on Sunday to play the Ontario Fury. And then they're at San Diego and at Ontario. A little California dreaming to close out the month. The next time they'll see Baltimore will be at CQ Arena on February the 5th, a 6:05 p.m. start. So anyway, out of the timeout here, it is 6-4. Baltimore leading Utica, 6 seconds to go on the power play. Big restart coming up here.
Watch him either try and get a ball to a sliding Ubi Parapovic or Christian Segura.
Into Slavisa. And Segura just going to backpedal, and that will allow Shearer to get out of the penalty box. Ubi Parapovic very aware of that as he turned the ball towards the middle to protect it. Segura. Gonzalez comes up firing. That's blocked by Dos Santos. About waist high there. And now stolen away. Gonzalez off the back heel. Bordeaux under a lot of pressure. And Thomas was able to press him away. Really good, stout pressure by Thomas to deny Utica a chance to counter.
But how about the poise from Bordeaux? The vet indoor guy, under pressure, seeing a play building up, but noticing that Baltimore's got all their men down and instead tries to, or elects to go back to midfield and restart the possession.
Down to the corner. Boy Gonzalez feeding across. Thompson shoots wide. He's got a goal today. And a collision along the right-hand side of the box will induce both teams, it looks like, to call for their trainers. As Thomas is able to get back to his feet. Van Zella doing the sportsman-like thing to make sure that the trainer got waved over in a hurry. He has a quick chat with Ryan Hall about that. With 5 minutes and change left to go. A look at it again, and just kind of incidental contact. Two guys converging on the ball that was out in the corner. Still trying to get an exact picture of who this is.
Yeah, I couldn't catch a jersey number on the way out.
And I don't want to speculate until I know exactly who this is, as that would be unwise, to be sure. Baltimore's next game will be against the Ontario Fury on Friday the 21st. And that'll be a home game, I believe, for Baltimore. 6:05 start time at CQ Arena. They go on the road for Harrisburg for 2 in a row. And then Utica and Harrisburg, both home games on the 5th and the 11th. As the injured player continues to receive significant attention here in the corner. There's 3 guys looking at him, including head coach Ryan Hall.
Yeah, again, we don't want to speculate who or what the injury is, but definitely some hard contact going in that rebound right there. It could have been the ankle. Really tough to tell. Again, we're not going to speculate, but you hate to see a player go down, especially for this hometown side. But either way, doesn't appear to be good. Hopefully he can recover soon.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. And back up to his feet. And getting helped off. That is, looks like Pat Thompson. And so Utica will be without one of the guys that scored a goal for them today for possibly the rest of the match, and hopefully no longer.
And although it was accidental, you see this kind of chivalry in soccer where if a guy goes down off the play and the other squad gets their free kick, they might just hand it back to the opposite end's goalkeeper. So I'm curious to see exactly how Baltimore will play this.
And indeed, they will just shoot this down at Wilkin. Little battle for the header there at the zone line, but Wilkin is on his way to the bench. Here comes Bordeaux for the extra attacker. Utica down 6-4. and in need of a big rally, the way that Baltimore rallied back yesterday against Dallas. They landed a goal short. But Utica will be looking to finish the job. They've come from behind once this season here at home, and that was a huge home victory over Harrisburg. Up top, Gonzalez with a rocket ship that hit Vanzella and Tavernisi before going out to the corner.
Wow, excellent work by Bordeaux right there, although he appeared to have pulled something on that play, kind of limping off. But what an effort to throw his body in front of that ball, because honestly, if it goes past midfield and Baltimore has possession, that's another goal conceded right there, and Utica's out of this matchup.
Segura to Obasi, to Bordeaux. Looks like he's getting his movement back now a little bit. Bordeaux is on the far wing. Obasi to Bordeaux at the zone line. 4:20 to play. And there's a steal off the press by Hughes on the empty net. Scores! Josh Hughes with his first goal of the season. And it's an empty net goal. It's 7-4.
Yeah, not much you can say about that. 1 goal, 0 assists, 2 blocks in the season. So, you know, he's one of those on and off midfield contributors for the Blast, but really anyone at this point can make a change if they just steal possession. It's a good job. He was poised. He saw the loose ball and got up across the boards, using the boards to get downfield, and then just saw the open net. Not much else you can ask for on that power play, essentially, for the Baltimore Blast.
Huge goal for Josh Hughes. Utica will let it ride here. They do not bring Wilkin back on. Hughes against the extra attacker.
Best case scenario for Utica right now, they get a couple quick goals back with that extra man on, and then hopefully they could throw Wilkin back in so they could slow down their possessions and draw out the rest of the clock to try and get that last goal.
Shot by Yelovitz right to the feet of Vanzella and deflected away.
How about that save from Vanzella? Again, the foot save is one of the hardest to do, especially in indoor. The pace at which the ball's coming at you.
Segura.
So hard to react.
Segura to the point. Obasi. Segura in the corner. Diagonally back to Obasi. Now to Bordeaux. 3:23 left to go. Segura across. Volley. Gonzalez. Save made by Vanzella. He sealed it, but it was unsecured and ends up bouncing into the Utica bench. By the way, make sure you visit MASLsoccer.com. It's your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, standings, and in-depth features. Bookmark the page now so you don't miss a note. As this gets sent back to Vanzella, he will call timeout for Baltimore. And as the timeout hits, we will also tell you about MASL social media channels. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. As we get the timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout as well. Come back with a conclusion for you here on MASL TV. 7-4 Baltimore. Now we're back here on MASL TV. It's 7-4. Baltimore on the road leading Utica late. We know you have a choice when choosing your Sunday afternoon entertainment. We appreciate you choosing the Major Arena Soccer League and helping our great game continue to grow into what it can be and should be. And a special thank you to those of you at home that chose watching this over maybe the NFL playoffs or something else. We understand that stuff's wildly popular, but We're glad you're sticking with the Major Arena Soccer League here this afternoon.
Yeah, and I'll stick to that joke all night. It's a different type of Sunday night football. But I think everyone kind of got their price of admission here.
Absolutely competitive game, 7-4. Baltimore able to get a little bit of a cushion now late in the contest with the last 3 goals of the game. And now here comes off Wilkin again for the extra attacker. Bordeaux on his way on. And a whistle will halt play with 2:45 to play in the fourth.
And some of the small things here that I just love to watch, a part of arena soccer, like you see the extra attacker on. Look at Wilkin on the bench, just waiting, ready to hop off when possessions switch. Just all the little niches of arena soccer that you just love to watch.
Back to Bordeaux. He'll settle it down. Again, he's the extra attacker wearing that bright orange kit for identification purposes. As it's turned back over. Mello, long way away. Pereira, does he have enough? Yes, he does. It's a 4th goal for Juan Pereira on the empty net, and it's 8-4.
Yeah, now you have to imagine Ryan Hall is going to want to throw Wilkin back in the goal. This game's cracked wide open, and that's kind of the risk and reward you get with throwing that extra attacker on. Once the possession switch, it's a matter of if you can get a foot in front of it, because once that ball breaks midfield, it might find the back of the net.
And that's kind of the analysis you have to make as a coach. Consider the time left. Consider the deficit. Consider what you have to lose, what you have to gain. It's all part of that continuum of risk. But at the end of the day, if you're trailing late, you can't win if you can't score goals when you're down. So you got to do what you got to do. It's just a matter of when you take that risk. And Utica went fairly early. With about 5 minutes to go, it just hasn't paid off today.
And even with Wilkin back on, I have to imagine Ryan Hall's going to want Utica to have that offensive mindset that still has a really high risk to reward rate. You know, they're still going to give up a lot of possessions at midfield, but they're going to try and force that ball up into their attacking zone as much as possible without draining any clock. And of course, they're draining a little bit right now, but it's all with the intent to just get a shot on goal and see what they can get.
Along the left wing, sent back over to Obasi. 1:33 left. Utica down by 4. Obasi from way away, and that will skip off the turf and into the hands of Vanzella, who has had a solid outing here today. And even on the other side, Brian Wilkin has been pretty good for UCFC. Again, the last few goals have been extra attackers, so you can't charge those to him. And we get another time out of the field here with 1:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. Look at the out-of-town scoreboard at the current time. And again, these are all as of last report here on MASL TV. The Florida Tropics leading the Harrisburg Heat 3-1 in a game that kicked off at 3:05. Same time frame, the Ambush of St. Louis and the Chihuahua Savage are scoreless. And the Dallas Sidekicks finish off a weekend sweep with a 7-6 win over the Milwaukee Wave. So Dallas's turnaround continues. They were 0-3 to start the season. They've now won 5 of their last 6, including the win over Baltimore on Friday. So I know Jamie Lovegrove's been a big part of the Dallas turnaround. They changed coaches, brought in a bunch of different players from what they started the season with. The results have been there for the Sidekicks, making a little noise down there in Allen, Texas. So that may have been touched with the hand of Gonzalez in front of the Baltimore bench with 1:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Baltimore in line, barring something bizarre, to pick up their 4th win of the season. Utica will fall to 2-5. And with 1:04 to go, also want to take a moment here to tip my cap to Ajuado Neto and the job he did today with the Baltimore Blast as acting head coach in relief of David Bascombe. Kind of thrown into duty here because of some unfortunate circumstances, but he's made the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, it has not been an easy first shifter for him at all. I mean, you're in Utica right now, a big home field advantage. I mean, Utica's a very historically successful franchise. Even with the record you see on the board today for Utica, still a tough team, still a lot of different looks you get. A really veteran squad with, of course, a veteran coach, too. So being able to capitalize against a team that's so well in franchise right now with a coach they've been working with for a while, it shows that he may have a future as a coach in this league as well.
Raymond off the takeaway to Somo. Going to make a bid here for his first goal in this building. 3 seconds left to go, and he won't get a pass away before the buzzer. Baltimore pulls away late out of a 4-4 tie with the final 4 goals of the game, and they come into Utica and defeat Utica a second time this year, this time by an 8-4 score. Utica falls to 2-5, and they've now lost 3 in a row. Baltimore up to 4-2. And they bounce back from their Friday loss at the Dallas Sidekicks. Really just a hard luck day for Utica on a day where they really needed to find a result. And now, while it's certainly far from panic time, the mountain to climb does get a little bit steeper here with a divisional loss here today. So that's a huge win for Baltimore, helps further cement themselves in the second, while Utica will stay down in that third position, and that doesn't look to be changing unless Harrisburg can score the victory today against Florida, and even then, the Heat would be behind.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the beauty of this league. I mean, you have a couple teams missing this year. Rochester's one of them. But, still 12 teams in this league. A majority of them make the playoffs. So, I think this still kind of shows the quality of a team that's struggling this year. Utica's still a really well-enfranchised squad in this league for years, consecutively now. And even with a 2-5 record, they're still one spot out, knocking on the door for the wild card spots. So they're still going to be looking on the outside in, but still very well in the wild card picture, just a couple wins away.
Recapping the scoring before we get out of here, Pereira scored the first 3 goals of the game for a natural hat trick. One of them on the power play, the other on a penalty kick. That was the lead through 2:08 of the second quarter, and then Utica woke up 3 in a row, sparked by Vitale's response to the third goal by Pereira. At 2:21, Obasi picked up the assist. Utica scored twice more before the break. Segura and Swift to get it to a 3-3 tie. Jonathan Smello opened the third quarter scoring at 39 seconds to make it 4-3. Pat Thompson countered back for Utica to make it 4-4, but then it was all Baltimore the rest of the way. Michaud, Mello, Hughes, and Pereira, the latter 2 respectively, on the extra attacker situation, and Baltimore pulls away for an 8-4 win over Utica City FC here this afternoon. For Kyle Marchak, Ray Biggs saying so long, goodbye, be good to yourselves and each other. Join us again on Sunday when Utica welcomes in the Ontario Fury for the first time ever. Game time is 2 p.m. Again, be good to yourselves and each other. We'll see you next time.